Okay. Hi, everybody. We are doing tonight a script reading of Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas, the musical. For those who don't know Saving Christmas, it's considered one of the worst movies of all time. And basically, all you have to know is Kirk Cameron mansplains Christmas. So I've written a parody script with a couple songs, enough songs that I'm going to call it the musical because I like the sound of that. So I'm Colin. I wrote this, and I'll be reading the stage directions.
Hi, I'm Asa Bassa, and I'll be playing the role of Kirk Cameron.
I'm Ian. I will be playing Christian Grinch.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I am playing Cindy Grinch.
I'm Susan. I will be playing Becky and a druid and a baker.
I'm Liz. I will be playing Noelle, head counsel, and singing druid with Susan.
Oh, okay. I'm Christian. I will be playing Uncle Bill, council member number 3, Benji, and critic number 2.
I'm CK. I'll be playing Janie and council member number 1 and critic number 3.
I'm Jared. I'll be playing cinematographer, Arius, and partygoer.
I'm Matt, and I'll be playing St. Nicholas and a movie critic number 1, or critic number 1.
I'm Tom, and I will be playing the assistant director, council member number 2, and a radio announcer.
Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas, the musical. Scene 1, the living room. Kirk Cameron sits in front of a fake fireplace and holds an empty cup of cocoa. He addresses the audience directly.
Hi, I'm Kirk. You may know me from such movies as Like Father, Like Son, Fireproof, and the Left Behind movie that didn't star that hack from Guarding Tess. Of course, nothing can compare to my beloved sitcom, Kirk on the WB. In fact, the only thing I love more than bossing around my sitcom co-stars is Christmas. I love everything about Christmas. I love the cookies. I love the trees. I love the fireplace. I love the mistletoe. I love the holly. I love the holly berries. I love all the Christmas songs. I love Deck the Halls. I love Jingle Bells. I love Jingle Bell Rock.
Move it along, Kirk. We've only got your sister's house for 3 days.
Just let him do whatever, and we'll edit it down.
Much later.
Silent Night, and I love Santa Claus, That's Me. I love the flavor of an old worn out fruitcake that no one else wants a slice of anymore. Of course, there's one thing I love more than anything in this whole wide world: hot chocolate.
Kirk's wife storms out.
She said she didn't want to be in the movie. Anyway, as I was saying, all of my life I've been celebrating Christmas. For the longest time, no one ever bugged me about it either. It was great. There's all Christmas all the time. No one said, "Hey, Kirk, it's April, cool it down." Or, "We're trying to shoot a sitcom here, put down the eggnog." However, in the last few years, I've noticed people really get annoyed about Christmas, and I don't see why. On one hand, you've got people who will say, do whatever you want in the privacy of your own home. Just don't let it spill out into the street. To those people, I say, forget it, Kevin. I love parades. Then on the other hand, you have people who are Christians and should love Christmas just as much as I do, but they don't. They say that Christmas is all about pagan figureheads and materialism, and therefore Christians shouldn't celebrate it. Well, I can't help that first group of people because they are a lost cause. But for the second group, they're looking at it all wrong. Everything we love about Christmas, and I mean everything, can be tied back to something we're celebrating. So if your aunt comes up to you and tells you that you shouldn't have your nutcracker up because the mustache and goatee are actually indicative of Satan, then this movie is for you. Move over, Elmo. Step aside, Felix the cat. Suck it, Ernest P. Worrell. I'm Kirk frickin' Cameron, and I'm about to save Christmas.
Scene 2, Kirk's sister Cindy's house. She's throwing a huge Christmas party, which is easy enough to see, but Kirk feels the need to narrate some more anyway.
I love a good Christmas party, and so does my sister Cindy. There she is, throwing her annual party with all her friends and family.
Kirk walks over to Cindy holding 2 mugs of hot chocolate.
And there I am, about to save Christmas.
Hey, Kirk, get enough hot chocolate?
Just getting started. Hey, great party. Where's Christian?
In the car, I think. This time of year's kind of hard for him.
Kirk has the confused expression of a seal who just sat through a nuclear physics lecture.
What do you mean?
Christmas is tough for him, especially this year.
How could anyone hate Christmas, especially a Grinch family Christmas party?
Well, both his parents died on Christmas. His childhood dog ran away at a Christmas party. His business partner died 7 years ago at Christmas Eve. Oh, and his business totally went under this year.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to go try to turn him around.
Best of luck. He keeps going off about how Christmas is a pagan holiday, an abomination in the eyes of God, and worst of all, too expensive.
I've got a plan. I'll be back.
Kirk walks upstairs and Cindy's friend Becky walks over.
I think you might have made a mistake in the beverage choices tonight.
What do you mean, Becky? We have plenty of hot chocolate.
Pan over to the beverage dispensers. There are 6 for hot chocolate alone, and one has a piece of paper attached with Kirk written in red crayon.
Yeah, but look past it.
Pan over a little further to reveal a completely full container of red Kool-Aid.
Maybe not the best idea at a Christian party.
Oh, yeah. I no idea who brought that.
You going to the Christmas Eve service tomorrow?
No, someone told us happy holidays last year, and Christian said we're never going back.
Oh, it's a shame. You're going to miss the manager scene.
Don't you mean the manger scene?
No, manager. There's no room at the inn, and Mary and Joseph asked to speak to the manager. The church is sick of doing the same old story every year.
Yeah, well, I feel like we're not missing much.
Kirk comes downstairs with dress pants, an undershirt, and 1 shoe on.
Kurt, what are you doing?
I need a hit. Sorry.
Kirk pours himself some hot chocolate and quickly chugs it. It takes a second, but he soon realizes he's burned his tongue.
Oh, ow.
Well, what'd you think was gonna happen?
I'll be back.
Kirk runs upstairs with a Roadrunner-esque sound effect.
Whose clothes was he wearing?
I don't know. He keeps some of his stuff here sometimes.
Janie, Becky's 6-year-old daughter, walks up to her with what looks like a children's book.
Mommy, look at this book I found.
Becky looks at the book called Backdoor Santa. It features the lyrics of Clarence Carter's song Backdoor Santa, but with completely innocent illustrations that miss the song's innuendo.
They call me Backdoor Santa. I make my runs about the break of day. They call me Backdoor Santa. I make my runs about the break of day. I make all the little girls happy while the boys are out to play. Aw, that's cute. Nice book, hon.
Why is this book in my house?
It's just a harmless book. Come on. See, it's just about Santa using the back door because the chimney is all clogged up.
I ain't like old Saint Nick. He don't come but once a year. Yeah, there's only one way to take that.
You just have a dirty mind.
Rattling of chains is heard. Kirk comes down the stairs just as a ghost with chains like Jacob Marley in A Christmas Carol.
You had all of that in your home?
Kirk, what are you doing?
You said Christian's business partner died 7 years ago. I figured if I dressed up as his ghost, I could convince him to change his ways towards Christmas.
Kirk, we just don't have it in the budget to adapt Dickens.
Of course we do. It's in the public domain, as is the 1964 TV special Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, thanks to a typo in the copyright.
So that's why the kids are watching it on loop.
Regardless, Kirk, it's a bad idea. Christian was haunted by the ghost of his former business partner last year. Remember? We almost had to move.
Oh, yeah.
Look, Kirk, just 99% of people are enjoying the Christmas party, so let's not worry about the one person that's out in the car not having fun.
Cindy, if Jesus had 100 sheep,
Well, he's doing word problems. I'm out.
Becky walks away.
And one sheep said, boo, I hate Christmas. The 99 others loved it. He'd go talk to the one until he loved Christmas just as much as all the others. They'd all go visit the manger with their shepherd.
I think you're mixing up your Bible stories there, Kirk.
Kirk is in his normal clothes now.
Look, I'm going out to the car to talk to Christian until he changes his minds. Are you with me or against me?
Oh, against you. But I've already made that clear.
Great. I'll be back with Christian.
Kirk walks out the door and onto the driveway. Christian Grinch, Kirk's brother-in-law, is sitting alone in his car. Kirk walks up to the passenger side door. Christian quickly locks the door, but Kirk pulls the key out of his pocket, unlocks the door, and gets in.
You have a key to my car?
Of course. What's going on, buddy? Well, why aren't you joining the party?
How can I? Do you know what hypocrites we are for having this?
What do you mean?
All of this, everything, 100%.
Zoom in on Kirk's confused face.
The entirety, completion, the full Monty, the big kahuna.
Zoom out to reveal Christian reading a thesaurus.
You're reaching now.
Yeah, you're right.
Christian rolls down his window and throws the thesaurus. It hits a random partygoer.
Ouch. That really
The partygoer flips through the thesaurus. Christian and Kirk wait patiently.
hurt. That really hurt.
Partygoer walks away.
Oh, I thought he would have done better than that.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, what were you saying? See, you've forgotten already.
Christmas is all hypocrisy, and I need to be alone.
Ah,
Look at this bill. This is how much spending I spent on this party.
Christian hands Kirk a bill the size of a CVS receipt, and Kirk looks it over.
that's not too bad. But I don't get this here. This 575. They want you to pay half a cent.
That's a comma, not a decimal.
Still, all things considered, it's not that much.
Oh, that front side is just for hot chocolate.
Kirk hands it back.
Think of how much we could have given to the poor.
Well, yeah. What are they going to do with all that hot chocolate?
The money, Kirk.
I know. Look, Christmas comes just once a year. The poor are around 365 days a year.
I mean, I guess if you look at it that way, but couldn't we just give a little bit more?
Christmas is incredibly important, and I'm afraid you just don't get it.
It's just the commercialism of it all. And what about December 25th? Do we know Jesus was born on December 25th? It's a pagan festival. There's trees and
Christian, one thing at a time. I can show you the Christian meaning in all of it. Trust me.
You're going to show me my meaning in it?
The greater meaning.
Ah.
So what bothers you first?
Every time I walk into a party or a department store, what do I see first? Christmas trees. Not the baby Jesus in a manger like it should be, which should be our focus.
Great. Well, let's start with nativity scenes then.
Why would you do that?
Christian, when you look at your nativity scene,
I don't have a problem with my nativity scene. I have a problem with Christmas trees and a lot of other things.
oh, well, I prepared this whole bit about nativity scenes, so
Skip it.
don't you want to hear about the swaddling cloth and how it represents burial clothing, how the gifts the wise men brought actually were burial spices?
Ew, no. Why? Why would I want to hear that? Aren't you going to get me in the spirit of Christmas?
Okay, great. Well, one down. You've come to my side on the manger scene.
Oh, not what? Not sure I did, but all right. Let's move on then. As I was saying, Christmas trees.
Christmas trees? What could possibly bother you about Christmas trees?
Do you know the history of Christmas trees? Where are they in the Bible? What did Mary and Joseph just say? Oh, and this blessed, we are so blessed on this day. Let us plant an evergreen in this stable so that everyone will know this is where the Messiah was born. Or did the three wise men bring gifts of fir, spruce, and pine? I don't seem to remember that, Kirk. Evergreens don't grow in stables.
No, they don't. But do you know who created trees?
I know the Druids used to worship Christmas trees. They'd have one right smack in the middle of Stonehenge. They'd light it, then they'd gather around and bow down to it, make sacrifices and everything. That's where the song "Old Christmas Tree" comes from.
Oh, come on. You mean to tell me they called them Christmas trees?
No, Kirk. They called them Tannenbaums. You know, the original title of the song was "O Tannenbaum," but when we absorbed their culture, we changed it. They would bow down to the tree, light the fire on the altar, and commit human sacrifice. Haven't you read the original lyrics of the song?
Stonehenge, 1600 BC. A group of druids is bowing down to a Christmas tree in a ceremony.
Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree.
Cut back to Kirk and Christian.
I thought it was Tannenbaum.
Oh, all right.
The druids are now slightly annoyed.
Oh, Tannenbaum, oh, Tannenbaum, we grant our life
For to you.
Oh, Tannenbaum, oh, Tannenbaum,
We
we
owe
owe our whole lives to you. Oh, Tannenbaum, oh, Tannenbaum, we sacrifice a virgin.
Cut back to Kirk and Christian in the car.
That's intense.
And easy to do over Zoom. See, I told you, Christmas trees are pagan artifacts. We need to, we need to get them out of the house now.
Okay, counterpoint, you're wrong.
Didn't you just listen to my whole song and thing?
About everything.
All right, please tell me how Christmas trees are in the Bible. I'll wait.
Garden of Eden.
There were Christmas trees in the Garden of Eden. They were celebrating the birth of Christ before Christ was born.
They weren't necessarily Christmas trees, but there were trees.
The whir of a chainsaw is heard. Christian has apparently pulled a chainsaw out from under the seat.
Christian, I know this isn't the first time I've had to tell you this. Put the chainsaw down.
You've got 30 seconds to get your story going, or I'll go in there and start cutting down that pagan abomination you call a Christmas tree.
You know you don't need a chainsaw if it's no longer planted in the ground.
20 seconds until that tannin gets bound.
It doesn't even make sense.
15.
Okay. If you look through the Bible, there are trees everywhere.
Especially in the outdoor scenes.
Exactly. God has been speaking to us through trees since the beginning. He placed trees in the Garden of Eden.
Wasn't one of them what led to the fall of man?
When Cain killed Abel, he buried him under a tree. When Solomon built the temple, he used the wood of trees to create it. Jesus himself died on the cross made of wood. When Jesus ascended into heaven, he extended his arms out like the branches of a tree. His glory descended onto his disciples like leaves falling off a tree.
The whirring stops. Christian is putting the chainsaw away.
Did you go to the tree lot with your family this year?
Yes, and I was very good about it too, despite my initial distaste.
A Christmas tree lot. Christian, Cindy, and their son Benji are shopping for a Christmas tree.
Mommy, I like this one.
Me too. What do you think, Chris?
It's fine, I guess. It's as showy and pointless as all the others.
Honey, it's Christmas. Come on.
You're right. Yes, let's get that one and have the happiest Christmas ever.
See, it's bringing us together.
I love you.
Overly dramatic music swells and Christian and Cindy kiss. Kirk quickly interrupts the story.
That's not the way your wife told it.
Christian is being literally dragged onto a Christmas tree lot by Cindy and Benji.
Vanity! It's all vanity!
For the last time, that's only funny at the mirror store.
I'm not being funny. That was a good joke. These people are selling pagan artifacts at ridiculous prices.
Christian approaches a random employee.
What? Why hast thou wrought God's vengeance on the masses?
What?
Sorry, he gets a little over dramatic this time of year.
Frailty, thy name is Douglas Fir.
Christian lights a match, but the flashback ends before he burns the trees.
Whoa, Kirk, stop Hashemoning my story.
Oh, so you got the thesaurus back?
No, Rashomon, I know my Seven Samurai, Yojimbo, what?
Oh, I always thought you were talking to your imaginary friend Jimbo. Anyway, details aren't important. You went to a Christmas tree lot with your family this year, right?
Yes.
Remember when you walked in and saw all the trees?
No, that part must have slipped my mind. Yes, of course I remember that. It's a Christmas tree lot.
Calm down, I'm getting to my point. Remember when you walked in and saw the trees? Next time, just imagine you're looking at hundreds of crosses. The ornaments are like your sins hanging from the cross.
There aren't ornaments hanging from the trees in the lot.
Look, I thought you were going to start with the nativity scene. I'm still working this out. When you decorate the tree in your home with your family, think of it like hanging your sins on the tree, okay?
Oh, so that's why your Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer ornament has the word lust taped to it?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, I never looked at it that way before. It's just like my sins hanging from the tree. God invented the tree, not those plagiarizing druids.
Right. So, ready to rejoin the party?
Oh no, I still have so many Christmas related things I take umbrage with.
A man dressed as Santa Claus walks into the house.
Whoa, you guys got Santa for the party?
It was me.
Christian pulls out his phone and calls Cindy.
Did you hire someone to play Santa and not tell me? You know my thoughts on this.
Honey, it's Uncle Bill. He needed the work. Plus, it's a Christmas party. You need to have a Santa.
No, you don't.
When are you coming inside?
At some point, maybe.
They hang up.
So?
It's not the real Santa, it's Uncle Bill.
Ah, good. I guess he's just a bit late.
That's another thing I can't take about Christmas.
Tardiness?
No, Santa Claus. I mean, for a long time, Christmas was all about Jesus. And then this Santa guy comes bursting in with his gifts and it's ho, 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 and we all forget about Jesus. Where are the elves in the Bible? Did little elves go around and cobble Jesus sandals?
You don't cobble sandals.
What was Mrs. Claus like? I'll just stand over here and make sure Matthew doesn't record my being here.
What are you even saying?
Sorry, I'm just kind of stalling so you can think of your points. Ho, 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 sleigh ride.
So what bothers you about Santa?
The dude took Christ out of Christmas. Ain't nobody waiting 4 hours in line to talk to Jesus.
That's because we have prayer.
Nevertheless, kids ask more of the fat guy in the red suit than Jesus.
Ah, well, you're wrong about everything. What if I told you that Santa was actually one of us?
Cameron?
No, a member of the team, a Christian. Do you know where Santa Claus comes from?
The North Pole? Where is this going, Kirk?
No. Do you know where the Santa story comes from? He was a saint. That's why we call him Saint Nicholas.
Yeah, that's why you usually call people saints.
Are you let me tell my story or not?
You know what happens when you rearrange the letters in Santa? Do you know what that spells, Kirk? It's pretty obvious.
No, come on.
Tenace. Do you know what tenace is, Kirk?
No, but I bet you're going to tell me.
It's a poisonous root the Satanists use in Rosemary's Baby. It's satanic, Kirk.
I think that's spelled Tannis.
You sure? Let's get that thesaurus.
Yeah, I accused my neighbors of growing some last year, but didn't end well.
Well, Santa is probably spelled differently in the original Greek anyways.
So can I tell you about the historical Saint Nicholas?
Yeah, go ahead.
He was the Bishop of Myra in modern day Turkey. That's why every Christmas we gather around and eat turkey.
Glad he wasn't born in the Virgin Islands.
What?
Nothing.
Anyway, the real Saint Nicholas was a great defender of the faith. He attended the very first Council of Nicaea in 325 AD.
The Council of Nicaea. St. Nicholas is a brown bearded man with a perfectly white coat on. He approaches a table where Arius is seated talking with others.
At that very same council sat Arius, a heretic, who had been spreading his lies across the countryside, saying all manners of things like Jesus wasn't God,
Jesus wasn't God.
and that the Bible isn't the only word of God,
The Bible isn't the only word of God.
and all other kinds of heresy.
Now, I only heard this one from Pius.
I think that's hearsay, Kirk.
Exactly, it all was.
No, not heresy, hearsay. When you can't quote someone directly, but someone else told you they said it.
Well, anyway, they didn't have all these fancy laws back in the day before political correctness. The Council of Nicaea was one of the most important meetings in the history of Christianity, even more important than the one we're having right now. They decided on the 66 books that would go in the canonical Bible.
All in favor of 3rd John?
Why does John get 3? He's already got a gospel plus whatever weird last book is.
Oh, yeah, no, we're not going to use that last one.
We'll vote on that when we get to it.
It's like 2 paragraphs.
The debate raged on for quite a long time, but let's skip ahead to the important part.
The action on screen fast forwards to Council Member 1 reading votes like anonymous jury ballots.
Apocrypha. So that's 2 votes Apocrypha, 1 vote's canonized, 1 vote burn all manuscripts.
Further.
The action fast forwards further to an angry Nicholas.
Why have we allowed these heretics to be in our midst?
Nicholas pulls out a list of names.
Let's call them out. There are Arius, Theophilus, Lucretius, and Jed. They have said things that are not true, yet they have been allowed in this meeting.
Nicholas, be seated. Let all voices have a say. We are here to agree upon what the truth is.
The truth has been decided, and those who can't agree must not be in our midst. If you will not ask them to leave, I shall handle this.
How do you plan to handle it, Saint Nicholas?
We should burn them over the hot coals like the heretics they are.
We will have none of that here.
And that's why Santa gives coal to the bad children.
Nicholas reaches into a bag and pulls out a switch.
Put that away, sir.
If you will not allow the coals, shall switch it up and use the backup plan.
The head council is shocked as we hear Nicholas smiting Arius.
We will have none of that here.
Get in line, heretics. My punishment method can't be beat.
Cut back to Kirk and Christian in the car.
He was quipping one-liners.
Come on, I have to update the story for today.
Christian is on his phone reading up on the story.
Actually, I don't think any of that story was right.
What do you mean?
Look.
Christian shows Kirk the story he's reading.
Look right here on the Wikipedia page, quote, this account is almost certainly apocryphal, as Arius himself would not have been present in the council chamber due to the fact that he was not a bishop.
Political correctness has run rampant and forced people not to tell the true story anymore.
Kirk, the story is linked all over the place to historical accounts.
Yeah, but this is the way the story was told to me by someone who would know.
You haven't convinced me that Santa Claus is a good thing to celebrate.
That's all right, because there's more.
Most stories don't involve a hero creating a bloodbath, so I'm curious where this is going.
St. Nicholas had taken a switch to every heretic in the room, and there was blood all over the floor.
What?
Council of Nicaea, only a few people are left seated since most people are on the floor injured in various ways.
Now, for the final and most important vote of the evening, we as a council must decide who is the Son of God. Seeing as how only a few remain, this should be a quick vote.
A baker enters.
Cookies are here.
Oh, great.
Nicholas, we'll start the voting with you.
Nicholas gets up to get a cookie, puts his white coat and hat on, and immediately trips right into the pool of blood.
Jesus Christ.
So that's one vote, Jesus Christ.
Nicholas stands up with his hat and suit now red. The baker comes back in with a bag of flour.
Do you like the cookies? Shall I make some more?
The baker trips in the puddle of blood and spills the flour all over Nicholas's beard, turning it white. Freeze frame. Christian is not impressed.
You're not just stealing this from L. Frank Baum's The Laughing Adventures of Santa Claus, are you?
What? That heretical text? That has wizards and stuff.
As opposed to this godly manifesto.
Is manifesto really the right word here?
It's stuff without the thesaurus.
You'll be convinced when the story is done.
You mean it's not yet?
No, I've only discussed the origins of coal, the list, the suit, the hat, and the beard.
So sorry. How did he get the reindeer?
Oh, he already had this.
He drove a reindeer-pulled sleigh to the Council of Nicaea.
Of course, they couldn't fly.
Why isn't that in the records?
They voted a lot of important things. Everyone drove a reindeer back then. It would be like saying this car is important to our discussion.
The camera cuts to the car's make and model and stays on it for a good 3 seconds.
So you mean to tell me this violent fundamentalist delivered gifts to children?
Of course, I think this is the part that's going to convince you.
Wonderful.
It was a few weeks later, Christmas Eve.
The Council of Nicaea ended in June, Kirk. It says so right here.
Ah, different hemisphere.
No, it wasn't.
Then history is reporting it wrong. Regardless, it was Christmas Eve. Nicholas decided it was time to remind everyone that heretics had to pay. He was going to track every last heretic from the council down and make sure they now believed that Jesus was the Son of God. However, he timed it poorly and didn't get to Eris's home until late at night. He looked in and saw Eris's son and daughter and pitied them for having to live with such a heretic and traitor to the faith. Eris's socks were hanging from the window because his legs were still both in cast from the beating Nicholas gave him. As soon as they went to bed, Nicholas left gifts for the children in the socks.
He just had gifts with him there.
They were Bibles. Bibles that only had the books Nicholas was in favor of at the council.
Books for Christmas. Kind of passive aggressive there, Santa.
Godly. Arius was converted the next morning.
Wow. Never saw it that way.
Exactly. And neither did Arius.
I just can't believe that Santa is one of the good guys.
What are you doing?
I'm editing this into the Wikipedia article.
Kirk begins singing a song.
You better watch out, 'cause he'll make you cry. I'll knock your lights out, but show you the light.
What are you doing? There's a sound.
Santa Claus is kicking some ass. He's going to bars, getting in fights, punching out heretics and setting them right. Oh, Santa Claus is kicking some ass.
Let me guess. This is the original unedited version before it got cut.
He sees you when you're preaching those lies that you create. He'll strike you with his wooden staff, so you better be good for goodness sake.
Are we about done here?
You
Okay.
better watch out, 'cause he'll make you cry. He'll knock your lights out, but show you the light. Santa Claus is kicking some
nice song there.
ass.
Okay. That song there, but
The boys and girls.
Okay.
Christian gets up out of the car without Kirk noticing and walks inside the house. Inside Christian and Cindy's house, Christian enters, pours a mug of hot chocolate, and sits down on the couch next to Noel Grassy.
Christian, haven't seen you in here much at all.
No, Grassy, good to see you.
I thought you were avoiding the party because you were sour on Christmas. Kirk didn't change your mind already, did he?
No. I just need a break from the break I was taking. I'm not saying it makes sense, but I had to get out of there. He was singing.
He got to the boys and girls in Toyland.
Oh, yup.
Drinks up.
They clink their hot chocolate together, but both spill a bit.
How long until he notices?
Well, he's got to sing the whole song, and there's this diatribe that ass is in the Bible, so you got some time.
It's in the Bible?
Yeah, KJV.
Well, yeah, but that just means donkey.
Nope. Kirk's juxtaposed version.
Kirk wrote his own version.
Mm-hmm.
What's juxtapose have to do with it?
Oh, nothing. He just needed a J word for that punchline.
Did it sail?
Oh, yeah. Didn't you hear about it? He was out there hawking it on Fox News and InfoWars. Those are the only places you get the truth, you know.
What?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know who really shot William McKinley? You won't believe it.
I don't think I even knew he was shot.
Oh, yeah. They lied about that one on the radio. Told everyone it was some guy who didn't like big government. He was an anarchist.
What?
An anarchist. He wanted the government to be so small that it would fit in the building size of Noah's Ark.
An anarchist.
Whatever. That's not who shot him. That's who they told you shot him.
They didn't tell me anything.
Right. They never do. You know who actually shot him? Farmers, man.
The insurance company?
No, the big farming organizations. He was going to go after the farms, man. Teddy Roosevelt tried to make it public, but they silenced him and replaced him with William Howard Taft.
Are you sure you're not making this up?
No, they gave him the Supreme Court seat for covering up. Look it up, man.
How can I look it up if they hide the truth from you?
Bark web.
Bark. Don't you mean the dark web?
No, the bark web. They reveal all the info at a pitch that only dogs can hear, and you have to run it through software.
Kristen gets up, really tired of all this.
I think I'm gonna go back. Thanks, Noel.
Stay informed out there.
Becky catches Kristen before he walks back out.
Do you know how long Kirk will be? His kid said the last time he went out to the car this long, he didn't come back until he made 3 Left Behind movies. So we're getting a little concerned.
Well, I've got a lot of issues with Christmas that he has to prove are actually based in religion.
I won't ask. Why'd you come back in though?
He got a little too into the singing. You know Kirk and his Christmas music.
Oh yeah. I started writing some Thanksgiving songs one year, just so he wouldn't start with the Christmas songs until Black Friday. Want to hear some? I think Kirk has a ukulele somewhere.
Well, I kind of escaped the car to get away from the music, so rain check.
Becky has already walked upstairs to find a ukulele. Christian sighs and heads out the door. Christian's driveway. He opens the door to see Kirk playing the solo from Bruce Springsteen's Santa Claus is Coming to Town on a saxophone.
Getting a bit into it there, Kirk.
Kirk puts the saxophone down under his feet. Christian gets in the car and sits back down.
Yeah, I'm good. Whew. So, what aspect of Christmas can I convince you about next?
Oh, I don't know.
Christian rubs his finger against the fogged up windshield.
It's kind of frosty.
Frosty the Snowman?
What?
You want me to tell you the greater meaning of Frosty the Snowman?
I don't know. It kind of sounds like you prepared. Whatever, Kirk. Just go ahead. What is the deep spiritual meaning of Frosty the Snowman?
Well, it's funny you should ask.
Is it? I mean, Christmas isn't even mentioned in the song.
Once again, you're wrong about everything. Frosty is all of us.
What? Did you start a cult while I was gone?
Take a look at the lyrics. Frosty the Snowman was a jolly, happy soul. He's us before our human bodies take form. Our soul is eternal. The flesh is temporary.
Oh, you've got to be kidding.
Like the children in the song, God breathes life into us in what some people can only describe as magic.
You really think Gene Autry intended all of this meaning?
No, I'm talking about the real Frosty the song was based off of. I don't know if Gene knew the greater meaning or not.
If only you'd been there to tell him.
Like Frosty, we can only be on Earth for so long. He knew the sun was hot that day because the fires of hell were tempting him. He had to take the straight and narrow path right by the traffic cop.
Does it ever say it was the straight and narrow path?
Well, they all walked in a straight line, didn't they? And what did he say at the end of the song? I'll be back again someday. You know who else said that?
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Jesus.
I thought Frosty was all of us, not Jesus.
Well, Jesus is in all of us.
This is getting deep.
Exactly.
But actually, I take issue with the Frosty the Snowman cartoon, not the song. My kids just can't stop watching that damn thing, and I'm getting really sick of it.
Isn't it based on the song?
Well, yeah, but it shows that magic is real. The magician's hat actually brings him to life. And then Santa comes and he like,
Yeah, but we like Santa now, remember?
oh, okay, I'll accept Vigilante Santa being in it. How about when the children bring Frosty to life? They circle around him like some kind of cultic ritual.
But that's not what brings them to life.
No, it's the hat, which, as I've said, proves magic is real. God can't be pleased with that.
What if it was their faith that brought them to life?
It wasn't.
Yeah, but what if it was? Would that make you more accepting of it?
I mean, sure.
In the second one, Frosty gets married by a minister.
What? Wait, seriously?
Yep.
So Frosty's on the team too. I never thought of it that way.
Great. What's your next issue?
Yeah, let's move on to the next thing. December 25th. Why is that when we celebrate? It's definitely not when Jesus was born.
That's really funny because you know what? You're wrong about everything.
Shocking.
Do you know when Jesus was born?
What? Like the exact date? Of course not. That's the point.
So it could be December 25th.
Backseat door slams and Cindy gets in the car.
Cindy, who's running the party?
Me, and just me, but no longer. You two need to finish up whatever point you're on and get back in the house.
I'm sorry. I'm still not convinced.
Really? We talked about the Christian meaning behind the manger scene, the Christmas tree, Santa Claus, and Frosty the Snowman.
Oh, I've still got a lot of issues before I can go back in there.
Christian, your son is wondering where you are. I can only tell him that you're out getting candy cigarettes for so long.
Well, just tell him that Uncle Kirk is showing his dad the true meaning of Christmas in a parked car.
I think it's best that maybe I don't tell him that.
Look, if you want to celebrate with all your pagan friends in our house, be my guest.
I can only do so much on my own. Everyone is asking about you and when you're going to entertain them.
Really?
Not you. I meant Kirk. No one can do Revelation charades like Kirk.
I must admit, I can do a mean seven-headed beast.
And who's going to provide the music? The Christmas music station cut the music out and started playing some new.
What?
Kirk turns on the radio.
Recently paroled thief William Jorgensen has been reported as breaking into homes and stealing their Christmas presents in a story that many have compared to How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Oh man, do they have to? It hurts enough to have that last name. We're not related to the Dr. Seuss Grinch.
Wait, you want me to tell you the deeper meaning of How the Grinch Stole Christmas?
No.
No.
Okay, sorry, I guess the whole name thing can hurt.
Jorgensen, who is known to friends as Uncle Bill, will often play Santa Claus at Christmas parties.
Kirk?
Kirk is dialing a number on his phone.
I'm already calling the station.
What good will they do?
I want them to get back to the Christmas music. I haven't heard the first Noel in the last hour and I need it.
I guess I'll do the heavy lifting here since I'm the only one who understands what's going on. Christian, Uncle Bill's your uncle, right?
I don't have an Uncle Bill.
Cindy, I thought he was your uncle.
I'm your sister. Are you seriously not putting this together? There's a monster in our house.
Yeah, the Nutcracker blocking the view of the manger scene. Am I right?
Uncle Bill in his normal clothes walks out of the house and up to the car.
All right. Stay calm, everybody.
I'm always calm.
Cindy rolls down her window.
I'm out.
What?
I just can't. This is the most boring Christmas party I've ever worked. One woman started singing Thanksgiving songs on the ukulele.
No, Becky's singing her Thanksgiving songs again?
No one likes them, Kirk.
Look, I was told my favorite baseball player, Tom Seaver, would be here, and I haven't seen him.
That's Mike Seaver.
Who the hell is Mike Seaver? Look, just give me my pay and I'll be out of here.
You're leaving early and you expect me to pay you now?
Yeah.
Cindy picks up the chainsaw from under the seat and picks it up. Uncle Bill runs away.
Well, that problem took care of itself.
No, it didn't. I took care of it.
Figure of speech.
So, when can we expect you to rejoin the party?
Sometime.
People are gonna leave.
Let them.
Christian, we don't pass the offering plate. I mean, the Holly Jolly donation box until 11.
Let Kirk go in and do his revelation charades, I guess, if that'll make people stay. Then he comes back here.
Oh, you sure, buddy?
Yes, he's sure. Come on, Kirk.
I'll be right back.
Cindy and Kirk get out of the car and walk back into the house. Cindy's living room. Kirk and Cindy walk in as Becky is trying to entertain everyone with a Thanksgiving carol, but they're all bored.
Turkeys we have heard on high, sweetly gobbling on the plain. Gobbling.
Play Free Bird.
Kirk, come on.
It's a song about the presidential turkey pardon. It's great.
Hey, Becky, family meeting in the kitchen.
I'm not even related. Okay, whatever.
Becky puts her ukulele down and walks over to the kitchen with Kirk and Cindy.
Code Brown. Code Brown.
What?
All the hot chocolate's gone.
Oh yeah, Santa said he had to get some more. He took the containers. When's he coming back?
He's not. I feel like his coat and beard on the floor is the giveaway.
Santa got raptured.
No, he didn't, Noel. Cool it with the conspiracies.
Who invited him?
Don't worry about it. So this Uncle Bill guy, he just stole the hot chocolate?
Becky, is that all he took?
Yeah, nothing else.
So we have some problems. This guy's gone from the party. We don't have in place Santa Claus for the kids. And he stole all of our hot cocoa.
What's a Kirk to do?
What on earth was that?
The laugh track. That was my sitcom catchphrase. What's a Kirk to do?
Kirk, I saw every episode of Growing Pains and you never said that.
Yeah, and your character's name wasn't even Kirk.
No, not that sitcom. My better sitcom. Kirk on the WB.
Never watched it.
I've never even heard of it.
Really? It lasted 2 years.
Yeah, and so did the Nazi occupation of Hungary.
It had that great theme song. Hey, I'm Kirk. I'm a real piece of work. You might think that I'm a jerk.
I think you made that up just now.
It's a real show, 32 episodes.
Look, Kirk, can you just go entertain everyone? You're the best at it. No offense, Becky.
Someone needs to sit with Christian in the car and explain the true meaning of Christmas, though.
He'll be fine.
Why don't you go talk to him?
Christian has whined to me about Christmas all year. I'm good.
All right, Becky, you do it then. I'll warm up for Revelation charades. We're doing seals or bowls tonight.
It's a mix.
The car. Christian is sitting patiently and is surprised when Becky gets in.
Where's Kirk?
We had to switch it up for a bit, so I'll help you with your Christmas concerns.
You sure? I mean, Kirk and I had a certain rhythm down and he knew how to answer my questions.
I will try my best. What's your first problem?
Well, I think I was going to try the December 5th date next, but that's a pretty tough one.
Try me.
How do we know Jesus was born on December 25th? In fact, I'm sure he wasn't The month wasn't even called December back then. Shepherds wouldn't have had their sheep out in the winter snow.
So if we got the date right, you wouldn't be out here in the car complaining for the whole party?
Oh no, it's just one of many, many issues. But why that day? You know whose birthday is December 25th? It's not Jesus.
Jimmy Buffett?
No, not Jimmy Buffett. I mean, I don't know. It could be Pan. The Greek god Pan was said to be born on December 25th, and Pan inspired our version of the devil, born around the winter solstice. So we're actually celebrating the devil. Told you this would be a tough one.
Well, what do you associate with the winter solstice?
Pagan, idolatry,
Besides that?
godless heathens.
Well, what if you think of it this way? December 21st, the winter solstice, is the shortest day of the year, right? It gets dark the earliest. Jesus is the light of the world, coming into the world when it's at its darkest.
I don't get it.
He's a light in the darkness. So the date of December 25th is symbolic, right? The world is dark in December, but Jesus shines his light.
I'm sorry, Becky, but this sounds like total boo-poo.
I'm sorry, I didn't really prepare for this. All right, so the Feast of Annunciation, which celebrates God telling Mary she was pregnant, is celebrated on March 25th. Assuming Mary had a normal and healthy pregnancy, then if you add 9 months to that, you end up on December 25th.
You weren't prepared for this, but you had the Feast of Annunciation all set to go. I just don't see what this has to do with Jesus. I'm not convinced.
Kirk walks up to the car.
Oh, thank God.
Kirk opens the car door and Becky gets out.
Hey, how's he doing?
I can hear you.
I think he responds better to you. Is everyone happy at the party now?
Oh yeah, they'll be good for a while. Hey, thanks, Becky.
Kirk gets back in the car and closes the door.
So, where were we?
December 20th. How do we know it was the birth of Jesus?
Easy. December, the 12th month. Jesus had 12 disciples. 25th, when you add 2 plus 5, you get 7. There were 7 days of creation. Christmas is about creating disciples, so 12 and 2 plus 5.
Wow. I never thought of it that way before.
Seriously, Becky didn't do the number thing?
Not at all.
Amateur. Look, Christian, I'm sure you have a lot of topics left to cover, but that party in there, I'm afraid it's going to die without me.
So what?
Well, let's go through them as fast as we can. You rattle them off and I'll give you the answer.
Speed round?
Speed round.
Starting now?
Starting now.
The huge stack of presents we're showing off in the home.
Think of them like the city's skyline of Bethlehem, welcoming the Savior.
The year without a Santa Claus.
Santa couldn't go, so he sent someone in his place, just like God did with his son, Jesus. Heat miser is Satan trying to stop him.
Fruitcake.
We're hardened and worthless, and we should be used for anything but a doorstop. But like that one person at the Christmas party who likes fruitcake, God loves us anyways.
The song Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Okay, come on, that's easy. She shouldn't have been drinking. It's right there in the song.
Okay, fine, you got that one. Ugly sweaters.
No matter how ugly we are on the outside, God will change our insides.
Really? That's what you're going with? All right, materialism.
Jesus came in a material body, so we should celebrate with material things to honor that.
Okay, I've got it. And there's no way you have an explanation for this one.
Kirk whistles, rolls down the window, and lights up a cigar.
I'm just saying, when you hear this one, there is no way you can explain what Jesus has to do with it.
Kirk leans back in his seat and blows cigar smoke out the window.
Or pipe smoke.
Or
Black
pipe
Friday.
smoke.
Black Friday. I got you, didn't I? Can you show me where Black Friday is in the Bible? Or is it somewhere in Ecclesiastes? Buried down deep in there somewhere. Is it in Holy Week somewhere? Is it an alternate? Did Jesus just make it an alternate just in case the crucifixion didn't happen? Oh, I'll just throw a Black Friday in there.
Christian, you're wrong
Yeah, I know I'm wrong about everything.
about everything.
There it is.
Hey, I'm just trying to help.
You mean to tell me the people rushing into stores immediately after Thanksgiving, mauling each other over gifts, is a representation of God's love? Show me 60% off in the Bible. Did Judas betray Jesus because he didn't give him 60% off a donkey? I mean, I haven't read the whole thing. Maybe that's in there somewhere.
You're just looking at it from the wrong perspective.
Oh, excuse me for thinking of the people who die every year getting trampled by Black Friday shoppers.
Well, I'm thinking of them too. So is Jesus. You see, before Jesus came on Christmas, the world was black. But then when Jesus was born, his mother wrapped him in swaddling clothes, not unlike the way we wrap our presents today. Now, Herod wanted to be the only one who got that present. And he and his men woke up very early on Friday morning to make sure they got it.
It says it was a Friday.
It doesn't not say it.
I think you're pushing it there.
Herod's men would do absolutely anything to get the greatest gift of all, even kill for it. They trampled people on their way to Bethlehem. They killed other babies in hopes that they were the Messiah. When we wait outside stores and trample everyone in our way to get our hands on that big screen TV, it's just like Herod's soldiers running through the streets looking for the Messiah. But Jesus and his family escaped to Egypt before Herod could get to him. That's why so many times on Black Friday, after all the waiting and pouncing and trouncing, you still don't get what you want.
Wow. I never thought of it that way. So when I go Black Friday shopping and trample people on the way to getting sales, I'm telling them the story of Christ.
Exactly.
That's unbelievable. I never thought about it that way before. I think, wow, I can't believe I'm saying this. I think you can get out of the car now.
I'm so glad to hear it.
Kirk gets out of the car and Christian begins to drive away, but Kirk jumps in front of the car and stops him.
What are you doing? We've got to get back to the party.
Christian rolls down his window.
I gotta get to Walmart.
Christian, it's okay. You can do that tomorrow. We've got a party to actually enjoy for once.
Christian and Cindy's home. Kirk and Christian barge in.
Guess who's back?
Christian runs into the living room and attempts a sad ta-da motion.
Guys, the party's already winding down. I'm glad your little conversation in the car went well, but it's late.
Can't we celebrate how far he's come?
Look, Cindy, I'm really sorry. I haven't been the best person this Christmas. Kirk had to explain it to me how it was all Christian and not the pagan ideology I believed.
Christian, it's December 23rd. I've had to do everything this holiday season. You can't just come in and apologize at the end of the Christmas party and expect everything to be okay.
But I'm reformed now.
I had to do all the kids' Christmas shopping.
That's okay. Shopping is godly now.
I had to do everything for the party.
And look what the party did for me.
You burned down the Christmas tree lot.
Hey, Kirk, can you tell me the deeper meaning of Christmas martial fights?
Oh no, no more Christmas splaining. It's time for the annual tradition of reading 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Noel has agreed to read it for us this year.
Great, I'll get the book.
I have it memorized. Actually, it's a slightly alternate take on the classic poem called "The Night Before Christmas Was an Inside Job."
No. Kirk, why don't you do it?
Gladly.
Kirk walks to the bookshelf and pulls down the book.
It was the night before Christmas when all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney but derelict, in hopes that St. Nicholas would soon come and beat heretics. The tree was quite tall, with lights it was laden. We all slept comfortably, knowing it was not pagan. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprung from my bed to see what was the matter. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but Jesus, the end.
I don't think that's
Original version for the atheist got to.
Hey, Kirk, where's Christian?
Noel runs over to the window.
Out in the driveway in the car.
Here we go again.
What's a Kirk to do?
Title card, 1 year later. Daytime. Cindy, Becky, Noel, and a few others are gathered at Cindy's house. Kirk comes in the front door carrying the mail.
Well, our reviews are in.
Why did they send them to my house?
Hope they're better than the reviews for my Thanksgiving album.
Kirk rips open the letter and reads the reviews.
The Room of Christmas movies. That doesn't even make sense. It took place in a car. Saving Christmas is basically 80 minutes of Cameron lambasting Christians for not being as equal when it comes to intolerance and closed-mindedness.
Hey, at least they saw the movie.
You know that
You
the
know that-
reviewer. Sorry.
Kirk always stepping on lines. You know, this is why you get these reviews. And you know, those reviewers all meet ahead of time, just decide what movies they're going to like anyway.
The worst holiday movie ever made?
Is there a single good review in there?
No, it's a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Cindy starts reading over the reviews.
Wow. At least we elicited strong emotions.
I always thought that meant it was 0% rotten. But look, this can't be right. All the haters and atheists have been reviewing it.
Well, this one is the Christ Gazette, an absolute disgrace to the name of Jesus and the holiday surrounding his birth.
It must be a conspiracy.
Now you're talking.
There's only one thing to do.
Go back to the Left Behind series.
Storm the gates of Rotten Tomatoes. We're going to send a message to all the critics that we decide what movies we want our families to see. Who's with me?
Rotten Tomatoes headquarters, a large building with a gate in front. Kirk and company stand in front of the gate.
Friends, family, fans, whatever Noel is, we've come here to do what God has willed. The critics have spoken and forced us to go on the offensive. It is time, truly, once and for all, to save Christmas. And we may not make it out of this alive.
Wait, what?
But those of you who do will have a deeper understanding of the greatest holiday in the history of mankind. And hopefully, more importantly, a certified fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So what do you say? Once more under the breach, dear friends? 1 partridge in a pear tree, 2 turtle doves, 3 French hens, charge!
3 people with a Christmas tree charge into the gate and attempt to break it. Critics stand on top of the building, taunting them and throwing literal Rotten Tomatoes at them.
It had more historical inaccuracies than Braveheart. I still didn't.
What
get it
are
right.
they doing up there?
The single worst Santa Claus movie ever put to film, and I'm counting Tim Allen.
The critics have filled multiple cannons full of Rotten Tomatoes and are preparing to fire.
Yeah, yikes, they didn't have those last time.
The ending was just a cheap knockoff of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
The gate finally breaks.
Charge!
Kirk and company storm the building as the enormous tomato cannons are being fired. Freeze frame. The end.